Hey everybody, welcome to this channel. So it is day 41 of talking in English. As you can hear, with presented with new vocabulary, and we are here to talk on all this word. So let's talk. So if you have to differ in that way, any work, any activities, even your own schedule. So in that way, what kind of disadvantage and demerits you can have due to of that kind of activities or something like that. So it is better not to defer. If you come to defer, then you won't get anything in return. So it is better to always stay as how consistent person, dedicated, or we have to focus on regularity or what continuity. All in that case, we can get our purpose, our goal, our whatever we are get in our life, and that's it. So you mustn't firstly I'm gonna see another the more of a you mustn't have to disdain anyone. Even if you come to disdain yourself, in that way you will feel like you haven't you have nothing like self awareness, or you even you are you come to uh, respect yourself somehow somewhat, that way you don't have empathy or that kind of assurance to yourself, that you can share with yourself or something like that. In that case you can feel really low or demotivated. In that way your performance won't be better, so we can take all these things in this way. And how can we share your knowledge and wisdom through this channel when even you are feeling you are disdaining yourself? So it is not, this can never ever get in this kinds of activities. If you are feeling somehow you are still disdaining, or somewhat you feel like, in that way it is better to meditate, to work out at home, that's it. So if you come to you mustn't have to what incinerate your mentality, your knowledge, your wisdom, when you come to incinerate. In that case you can feel really, you start blaming yourself to have nothing in your life. In that way you can't even control that kind of restlessness, anxiousness, and depression. You can handle it, uh, it can be out of your what imagination, or whatever you are what used to face tolerate in your life, that can even be so worse, or terrifying. So that's why uh, you must have to incinerate positives from your mind, but accept that you always have to get in there, but get engaged in sharing the knowledge, the wisdom, whatever you have, also in that case how your everything whatever you have, that can be really off will be really affable, and it has to be. If people come to treat you and see your what channels or whatever you are sharing among the people, if that is like how affable or pleasant, in that case even whatever you are sharing, among the people, that can even be really how really appreciating, also amiable. So in that case we can go through positivity, and no one will but say anything to you, because you are actually in the process of sharing knowledge, wisdom through your what through this channel. So keep going, I want to say that thing. Even it is really how bizarre, it's bizarre. People come to say it is bizarre, or it is like that kind of thing, so having bizarre thing is not a kind of a strange thing, it is also how from we can be familiar with that topic or that kind of thing, and then we can learn. So never ever feel like you are not doing anything. If you ever says these things, and you will feel demotivated from mentally, in that case you can perform well, your performance will be zero. So in that way it is better not to criticize and censor yourself with as compared to other people, so let them do anything whatever they are doing in their life, except that do not ever get in them in any that kind of comparing activities, in that case if you come to what you feel first you come to feel really restless, in that case how can you control how can you have control over your feelings or your emotions? So it is better to stay as always just you have to overcome from everything, and your experiences will and it can help to what learn and teach the lessons of your life. In that case you won't repeat that thing again, even with yourself, whether that is positive or negative. So if it's actually uh, giving and providing what uh, merits, advantages, beneficial thing, in that case you have to repeat. Otherwise if it's only buying anxiousness, restlessness, or only that kind of depression within you, in that case it is better to avoid it completely. You have to completely avoid it, so how can you burden, when something is really how a perilous, dismal and miserable ahead of you, so that is in that case it is better what uh, to leave that burden some things. Otherwise if you come to endure tolerate that, in that case you will have also that experience, even for your entire life. In that case you can also learn a lot of things from that journey. And I want to say that keep going ahead, you are actually in the process of learning, and you will always you can even able to learn all these things in your life. So keep going, brother, dears and siblings. Okay, even that thing is how if everything whatever you are doing in your life of initially they are looking like how really burdensome, and you are thinking somewhat, you feeling like let's leave this journey. I don't want to be the part of this struggle, this journey. So in that case you can have a lot of kind of this kinds of what perspectives and mentalities within you. But you know what you have to do in your life, that never ever always stay as a tenacious person. You always have to think like how attitude person, so accept that you can't do anything. So if you can stay as a diplomatic person, in that case you can even control your what your emotions or something. Like if you have controls over your feelings or emotions, then you have to control. So except which are out of your control, in that case you mustn't have to never ever feel like you are not doing anything for that kind of things are really how miserable and devastating. If you come to stop thinking about that, in that case you will have nothing, so it is better not to get engaged about thinking on that, on behalf of that kind of thing. It is better to stay hurt. You have to be aware of thinking on you mustn't have to think even a little bit on unnecessary things. It is better to think, instead of thinking on that things, you must have to think on your look at it, your positive things, and that's it. Okay, even a lot of things are here have really maybe occur, and come in a life like convoluted things in a life. But what you have to do in that case, have you any what have you ever had any convoluted, or you have ever embraced that kind of convoluted situation in your and condition in your life? If you have, then you must have what knowledge and wisdom, that kind of techniques or lessons you might have learned in your life, in your journey. So in that case you can even face and embrace and tolerate and endure anything whatever are coming in your life, like how really risky things or perilous things, but you won't care about that things because you have already have enough little bit experience about that things. In that case we must have to be so appreciating and proud. We have to feel proud, because you are actually in the process of learning a lot of things in your life, and we are here to support, to advocate you for your further journey, that kind of successful journey. So if you can go through this path way, in that case nobody even that is really your journey is like really thick, but you mustn't have to think about that in a negative way. That kind of situation will never come in that way. You will ever always feel how it's really pleasant. You will say, because you are struggling, you have learned to struggle in your life. So you don't need to be lenient for your what purpose, your what many things more like aim, many things. So because you are actually following discipline, and that's enough. So you don't need to follow on you don't need to be like a lenient person, that's kind of thing is it's worthless.